Imagine an army, not of knights, not of soldiers, but of children. Thousands of boys and girls, some barely old enough to walk, setting out on foot to reclaim the Holy Land. No weapons, no armor, just faith. This was no fairy tale, it was real. The Children's Crusade of 1212. Europe was burning with crusading fever. For over a century, kings and knights had marched to the Middle East to capture Jerusalem. But in 1212, the call to crusade didn't come from a pope or a king. It came from children. It began with a boy in France named Stephen of Cloyes. Only 12 years old, he claimed that Jesus himself appeared to him, handing him a letter for the king. When the king dismissed him as a fraud, Stephen preached to ordinary people instead, and astonishingly, they listened. Within weeks, thousands of children gathered, convinced that their innocence and purity would succeed where armies had failed. At the same time, in Germany, another boy, Nicholas of Cologne, began his own march. Tens of thousands of children and peasants followed him. They believed that the Mediterranean Sea would part before them, just as the Red Sea had parted from Moses. They believed they could walk across the water into the Holy Land.
The reality was far darker. Hungry, exhausted, many never made it past the Alps. Some starved, some froze, others turned back, but many pressed on, reaching the Italian coast, waiting for a miracle. When the waters refused to part, two merchants offered them ships. The children cheered, thinking God had answered their prayers. But history tells us the ending was a nightmare. Instead of sailing to the Holy Land, many of those ships sailed into slavery. Thousands of children vanished into the markets of North Africa, never to be seen again. The Children's Crusade was not a single organized march, but a tragic movement born from desperation, hope, and faith. Historians debate how many were truly children, how many were poor peasants swept up in the madness, but the legend remains, a crusade of the innocent, betrayed by the world. An army of children marching not with swords but with belief, and walking straight into tragedy. Was this a miracle of faith gone wrong, or the greatest betrayal of the Middle Ages? The truth is still shrouded in mystery. For more dark and forgotten stories like this one, subscribe to Secrets of History, because sometimes the past is stranger and more heartbreaking than any legend.